Okay, we got some people coming in. All right. We'll give everybody just a second here to get connected and make sure your audio's good to go. And then we will get this here in just a minute. All right. All right, well, welcome back to day 3, everybody. I am super excited. We're all super excited that you guys have joined us for the 3rd day where we're going to be talking not necessarily about, how to do the projects and how to set up the teams, but the future of Zaria and the really cool features that are currently under development, which is just another step of staying 6 months ahead of pretty much everybody else. So we're super, super excited about this. And let me just share my screen real quick here and we will kind of got your codes for today so that you get your extra credits. And here we go. All right. Can you guys see my screen okay?
Yep.
All right. So actually, let's start at the very beginning here. Okay. So welcome back. Day 3 of Build Your AI Team. I'm so glad you guys have stuck around for this 3rd day. I think today is probably the day that I personally am the most excited about, simply because it's what Josh and Robert are developing, which is so incredible. Absolutely incredible. You guys are going to love this. So again, your unlimited unfair advantage, and especially with the stuff that's coming up. So get excited. And as promised, we've got our day 3 credits. So use the bonus code FUTURE for your bonus 10 credits. We do know that there were a couple of technical issues yesterday with the platform that have been resolved. So if you did not get your credits yesterday or on day 1, I've got the codes up there and we'll also put them in the chat in just a few minutes. So today's code is FUTURE. Day 1's code was Zaria and day 2's was AI Team. So the past 2 days, we talked about how to duplicate yourself. We talked about how to set up, team members that think and work like you. Today is all about the AI innovations and future-proofing your business using Zaria specifically. And today it's all about Josh and Robert talking about what's coming up. And yeah, we're gonna have some fun with it. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen, and Josh, let's just dive into it.
All right. Well, I'm really excited about today. We're going to be talking about the future of Zaria, the future of the platform. We have a lot of plans. We have short-term plans, stuff that we're going to be rolling out in the near future, and then we've got the long-term vision, which is really how I see people working with AI, and just working in general. I think AI is going to be a big part of the way that people work, and I have a vision for how people can work harmlessly or in harmony with AI and with the tools that they need. And we're building the foundation for that. We're laying the foundation for that into Zaria now. But let me talk about the short term. Some of you may have heard about MCP. It's called Model Context Protocol, and it's really about AI agents. So up to this point with ChatGPT and Claude and a lot of the services now, you can talk to AI. You can ask it to write something for you, and it can give you that response, but you're really just copying and pasting what you want the AI to work with. You can upload a document, but then you're copying and pasting it. Agents allows AI to do the work for you. It allows Zaria to actually connect to different services. Let me just give you a demo or a preview. Just let me do a screen share of MCP. So just a quick overview. This is the MCP protocol, and this is the services that currently support MCP. You can see these are the companies that have made official MCP integrations. And you can see there are thousands of them. The last I checked, there were over 2,000 MCP servers, each of them integrating with a different service. So you can see Google Calendar, Gmail, Google Tasks, for programming, there's GitHub, there is Spotify, if you want it to be able to link into your music. There's MariaDB, so it can search a database. There's MySQL, there's Slack, so you can add your AI to a Slack channel so it can see the conversation and it can actually chat on your behalf. So all of these services are available for MCP. Now, what I've done is I've taken MCP and I've built my own version of this protocol for PHP, which is the underlying platform that Zaria runs on. So what this means for you is we can take each of these MCP servers and turn them into a skill for Zaria. And in most cases, all you will have to do is switch that skill on and off to give Zaria that capability. If you want Zaria to have the ability to read from your Google Drive folder, you can just switch on that skill and then you could say, I have this document in my Google Drive. Can you get it for me? And Zaria will be able to do that. So I think this is just really exciting. And this is what we're going to be working on in the short term. It's just all of these MCP servers. We're going to be picking out some of the best ones and just integrating them with the platform and turning them into skills. We're going to be interested in your feedback as well. If there's anything in particular that you want Zaria to be able to work with, whether it's video or whether it's really any of these things, different types of documents, whether it's Dropbox, whether it's Google Drive, we're going to be thinking about which of these we want to start integrating into Zaria. So we're going to be interested in your feedback, and I'm excited to start building these skills.
Yeah, this is the future of AI, and this is absolutely awesome. Hey guys, go ahead and if you guys have a second, put in the chat what tools you guys use the most that you would love to see this kind of an integration with. I mean, like Cassie and I are both like Google Drive fans and whatnot. So what else would you guys like to see, you know, specifically to get yourself off the ground and running? Okay, it looks like Google Drive, Google Calendar, Slack, Zoho. That's interesting, Sunny. Zoho's got a lot of different components to that. Slack, Asana, Dropbox, regular email. Okay, so that gives us a good idea of, you know, the tools that are most commonly being used. Interesting. Okay.
Now, that's interesting and very interesting because Josh and I have sat there, looked at that, listened to, well, shit, where do we start? Which ones do we do? You know, so all of those are now going in the book, and we'll be taking a look at those, all of those. I just want to know if anybody saw what I typed in there. As per usual, Josh has not taken as much credit for this as he does. He's passed over the fact that now MCP can be just used as a he's completely rewritten the MCP thing into PHP code to start with. Okay, it's not a case that we can now attach ourselves to these things. It's only possible because Josh has rewritten the whole thing in PHP. Okay, that otherwise it's not possible. Nobody else, unless somebody else had that idea, none of those things is possible in any other AI. So that's a huge thank you for Josh to actually having the forethought to do that. This is why we're so excited about this stuff, because now there's all those things that are our fingertips that nobody else can do.
Yeah, when I saw MCP, when I saw the initial draft of the protocol, I knew this was something big. I knew that, you know, we were going past the days where you just copying and pasting stuff into ChatGPT. We were getting to the point where you could have agents that actually do stuff for you, actually do the work for you. So yeah, I knew I had to take this MCP, build it into PHP, and get it integrated with Zaria as soon as I could, because I knew it was going to be big.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a big deal. This is like when QR codes first came out and everybody was like, who needs a QR code, right? And now we use QR codes for just about everything. So yeah, definitely kudos to you, Josh. I mean, you're brilliant, man. You are absolutely brilliant. Very, very cool. Okay, so, you know, like Josh and Robert were talking about, these different MCP connections, okay? These are the skills that we talked about over the past 2 days, that some of these are going to end up being paid skills. So if you join us as a founding member, then you're going to get 50% off the cost of those skills for as long as you stay on the plan. So, oh, and George is here.
I would. All right, George, how are you?
Hey,
Pretty
George.
much, I would say every new skill that's coming out is going to be chargeable because there's a whole lot in there now that's part of the package. All new skills now, the plan is to charge $30, one-time payment of $30 per new skill that comes up. And the founder members will get a 50% discount on that. That's why I said when we first brought this up, that 50% discount is worth more than the rest of it put together. Okay, right? Because there could be 7,000 new skills coming out over the next 6 to 8 months. Okay, because of that. I mean, I know that we're going to be integrating them as fast as we can do that.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Josh, I know you also wanted to demonstrate one of those MCPs that you're currently working on that we talked about shortly before we started the call. And now that George is here, I want to watch George's reaction when you play this. So,
Okay. Yeah, actually, George and I were talking about this, but I'll just show you. Now, this isn't something that's in Zaria right now. We don't have a timeline, but I just want to show you what MCP is capable of. So, let me just share my screen. Okay, so what I started with was a prompt, and I put this into Zaria Deep Research, and this is the exact prompt that I started with. Do a deep dive into the benefits of virtual summits, include a general biography and comprehensive coverage of George Shepard and his company 360 Summits. Include examples of podcasts and webinars George has done, along with some of the interviews that he's done and people he has met from different industries. Include specific examples of interactions George has had with other people in the field, but be careful not to confuse him with other people who may have the same name. Talk about the past, present, and the future of the virtual summit industry. So I gave this to Zaria, and then all on the back end with the deep research and the Zaria models and MCP, we ended up with this result.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to yet another episode, my friends. I'm George Shepard, founder of 360 Summits and your go-to enthusiast for all things virtual, innovative, and transformative. Today, I am absolutely thrilled to take you on a journey through my story, the evolution of virtual summits, and what the future holds for this game-changing industry. So buckle up because we're about to dive deep and fast. Let me take you back to the early 2000s. It was 2001, and I had just launched my first online membership website. Back then, the internet was still something people were figuring out, but I saw the potential. It wasn't just a platform, it was a revolution waiting to happen. Fast forward to today, I've had the privilege of producing over 100 virtual summits. That's right, 100 plus. Each summit taught me more about people, technology, and the incredible potential of digital learning. From my early days in internet marketing and copywriting to becoming a veteran in publishing and online event production, I've always believed in one thing: education should be accessible to everyone, everywhere. And that's what 360 Summits is all about. When I founded 360 Summits in sunny Boynton Beach, Florida, it wasn't just a company, it was a vision. I wanted to create a platform that didn't just host virtual events, but redefined how people experience them. At 360 Summits, we've organized events on everything from health and business to personal development. And we don't just stop there. Our Platinum Pass membership gives you unlimited access to our library of summits, both archived and upcoming. Imagine having the world's top
I think
experts
that
in
pretty
thought
much shows you because that's not George talking, right?
device anywhere in the world. That's the
Right.
power of technology, my friend.
Yeah, I definitely
Yeah,
didn't do that one, but that was that sounds just like me. Holy
really
cow.
does.
That's great. And there's a lot of words in there that I would have never like it was better than what I probably could have done as far as writing a script. It sounds like makes me sound very intelligent.
I mean, the point was there, though. I mean, yeah, okay, she did make you sound intelligent. I'll give you that. But the point is that I want to point out that that was not you. That was not a recording of you making that speech. That was Zaria taking your speech patterns and put it to the script and delivering it just like it was you. Correct?
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's cool. You know, I mean, I'm gonna be surprised how she deals with my British accent, but we'll.
Should just make you Australian. That's what it is.
Well, I love this example because it shows us how we can literally duplicate ourselves seamlessly and easily. So, Josh, I can't wait for that to be available. That's like very exciting because I hate being on camera. So if I can, just upload some little snippets of video and have her do all my stuff, I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, that's what we're going to. I mean, that's the power of MCP. You can just take something like that. And Zaria did the research. She found out more about George's company, what he offers, some of the history, and she gives those examples in George's speech, and she tells it from George's perspective. That's just what MCP, the way that puts everything together. So you can just give it a request like that and end up with an amazing output like that. That's what makes MCP so exciting.
Yeah, very, very cool. I mean, the future is definitely here and time for us to embrace it. So very cool. Very cool.
I know George can't stay long in this meeting. It would be nice for him to have a say here. I mean, the reason Zaria was born was because of George's foresight in looking at what we were doing with another piece of software that we were working on, and took one look and said, "That's $100 million company you got there." So while Josh is the brains behind it, and George was the inspiration for us to actually build Zaria.
George, do you want to say anything about the software, or how you want to explain how you're using it for your own uses?
Sure. So a couple things. First thing is, I mean, this is the future. I mean, I'm sure you guys covered that a number of times, and I think it's been amazing. I've seen this journey with Josh being 6 months ahead of ChatGPT, and millions and millions of dollars in developers per month spending thousands and thousands of hours, and we're outpacing them. 6 months. It's not like we're outpacing them by a couple of weeks. It's like 6 months in advance. So the stuff that you're seeing right now today are the things that some of these other AI platforms that have $1 billion, multiple $1 billion valuations, they're keeping up with us. And sometimes I'm even thinking, since we're using some of their frameworks, they might actually be watching and being like, "Oh, that's a good idea. Let's figure this stuff out. And let's change it enough so it can be proprietary." But I mean, that's what happens when you have a really good group of people on the back end supporting a software that has the vision. My goal for Zaria, what I've seen from the very beginning, is that you can run an entire virtual team through the Zaria platform, where you'll be able to imagine Star Trek, where you talk to the computer, "Hey, computer, I want you to just do this," and then you walk away and it come back and it's done. I think that that's where we're going to eventually be at. And it's going to be a very short period of time. Like, we already have some of these things that are working right now, where we have the project management components of things where you can say, "Do this," and it will create a project outline, tell you what team members you don't have yet, who do you need to build it for, and then it will start assigning those tasks. And this all came out of envisioning how do we operate in the standard, like in this world, in this real physical, tactile world. How do we operate as humans and interact with each other? Okay, how do we apply that to AI? How do we interact with AI? How do AI interact with each other, in that kind of environment? And then how do we become more productive and be more polished with that? So just by taking those ideas and understanding like the mechanisms of how we make that thing a reality, I mean, it's just the beginning of where we're going with the company. And we've already had investors that are interested in coming in and investing in the company to the tune of millions of dollars. So, and we haven't taken any money yet. Like, this is just the beginning of a technology that is going to blow up. So, I mean, the sooner that people get on board with us and grandfather themselves in and become part of our tribe, our inner circle, I mean, I'm super excited to see where we're going to be at 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years from now. I mean, it's exciting. It's going to be a great journey.
Definitely excited. I know it's one of the reasons why I'm here, and supporting Josh and Robert and you as well, George, just because I see the vision. As soon as I met Josh and Robert at the Underground event back in January, I was like, yeah, this is total game changer, unlike anything I've seen. And yeah, you're right. ChatGPT and Claude and the rest of them, they're chasing us. So this is exciting.
One more thing to say too. I'll put this in everyone's mind because some people are like, oh, well, the vision, like I get the vision, but there's been a lot of folks out there, if you've been in internet marketing for a while, they'll sell you on the vision and they'll take your money before they've actually built anything. And then they never build it. They take off with the money or they do something else or they change the deal. Like, as you can see, we've already invested in this. It's already here. We're not going to sell you on the grand vision of like where we're going to be at so much as like, look what we've already done. It's working and it's working better than anyone else's stuff at this point. So I just want to make sure everyone understands this is not pie in the sky. We're not, everything that you were seeing is like something that's really working right now. It's exactly like it is. It's not, there's no fakery to it. So that's what you're investing in and joining on us on this journey with us.
And even the MCP stuff, that's okay. We're saying all this stuff can be done in the future, but that's not something that's got to be done. It's not something we're promised. It's done. It's only a matter of integrating each one of those things into the system already. It's not something that we will never get done because it's already flipping done. You know what I mean? It's just a simple plug. Now, from now on, it's plug and play. So that's what you're buying into. And that's what we're so super interested in. And here's the thing with ChatGPT. I can't go onto ChatGPT and have a conversation with it and say, how can I make you better? Now, I've had those serious conversations with Zaria and said, this is what I want to be able to do. How can I make you do it? What do you need added to your programming and training to be able to do that? And she's sat down with me and written complete scripts of the training that she needs, the programming that she needs, and I can pass that to Josh, and he goes back into her and says, okay, I understand this, now let's start writing it. I can't do that with ChatGPT, I can't do that with Claude. I have to wait for them. Whereas what we have now is, you can have that discussion. Even you guys, if there's something you want in there, have that discussion with her and get her to write the plan for it and let us have it. And we'll give it to Josh. And if he thinks it's feasible, boom, it's in there. You try doing
we just did that with podcasting.
Too.
Did you guys tell them what we're doing with the podcasting stuff yet? Or is that
no,
super
no,
secret?
we haven't told them it.
No, that's up to you, George. If you want to talk about that, yeah, I think that's really exciting.
Yeah, so I'll mention this to you. I have a partner in another part of our business. We're working on podcasting business for people, like helping them out. And I said, it'd be really cool. It'd be really cool if my AI can connect up with Tony Robbins' AI and do a podcast together, and both of us on the beach, drinking mango juice or drinking, coconut water, and we go back and we listen to it, and then our podcasts are done. I can tell you right now, I already know Tony Robbins and his people. They're working on this stuff right now as far as having a digital Tony. A lot of people are doing that, right? But we've actually already created, Josh has created the back end to have Zaria can do your podcast. You never have to write a single word. It will actually record yourself in your own voice, and it's pristine. It will sound like you. It will joke like you. It understands your language. It understands stories, right? We could thank Michael Hyatt for that when he tried Zaria. He gave us some ideas on how to train with all the previous stuff he's done and all his speeches and everything else. So that kind of was the beginning of the RSS feeds. Like, we've been working with some pretty amazing people in this process as kind of advisors and just giving us ideas. But it's happening right now that you can have a 2-podcast scenario with Zaria, and we're about to release this very soon. Like, I'd say probably within the next few weeks, maybe a month at the most, like where Zaria will actually create a podcast for you. And podcasts are super hot. I truly think that video and audio learning is going to be where everything's going to be shifting to. There's going to be stuff shifting kind of away from the standard way that we used to learn with courses and stuff like that. People are going to be listening. Self-driving cars are allowing people to listen and not pay attention to the road, right? They'll be able to watch videos. Public transportation will also, more people into that space will be allowed to do that. So that consumption is only going to get bigger and greater. So with the podcasting side of things, that's just one additional dimension where we took an idea that we had from a completely different business and said, what if we could do this? And in a matter of, I think it was probably like 2 weeks, it was implemented and we tested it. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. It works. And then we're like, okay, how do we refine it, make it better? And that's what we're doing right now. It's just even better. And I'm super excited about that. So that's just let the cat out of the bag and peek behind the curtain on just one of the things that we're doing already.
I mean, and that's now because Cassie had this idea that can we get Zaria to do her own support? Okay, So again, I sat down with her for 2 hours and said, right, we want you to do your own support. And this is the end result I want. And within that 2 hours, she'd completely written her own training again and gave Josh the code that she would need to do that. Even down to the point where she's trained, if she can't genuinely answer the question, she'll just say, okay, we'll pass this over to a human, and she'll send it over to our support desk and pre-fill in the form. So when you go there, all you got to do is put your name and email address in there. Now, that's crazy, right? And I'm not a programmer, I'm not a technical person, but I just gave her the vision, basically. And she then gave us the roadmap in order to be able to do the complete roadmap as well, including the spec sheet that a programmer would need to be able to do that. That is insane.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Well, listen, I mean, today's presentation was supposed to be pretty short since we were talking strictly about the future of Zaria and the innovations that are coming, in addition to everything that's already been done, like George was saying. I'd like to open it up for any Q&A if you guys have got any additional questions, or if you've been playing around with the software and you want to ask something specific about it. Just kind of
and please feel free when you're in there using Zaria with your free credits, use the support desk to put in recommendations for things, for skills that you would like to be in there, for other software that you'd like us to be able to connect to, so that we can have, so that Josh and I don't have to ponder about, well, what should we do next, damn it. Okay, you, the customers, will be telling us what you want next, and we can go down that way. So use that, put the support desk in. I've just given you more work, Sonny, but hey ho. Okay, any questions?
We'll open it up for Q&A. And just as a reminder to everyone, I'm going to share my screen here so that you guys can see, you know, what do you get as one of the founding members. And this, okay, this is not some like fear of missing out. You can always sign up for Zaria later, but we are offering the special plan, and it's only good until 9 o'clock Sunday evening. Okay, so I would highly suggest, you know, jumping on it before, you know, before the offer goes away. So we do have that. So just wanted to remind you guys of that. This is all the stuff that you're getting as a founding member benefit. You get the additional credits. We've got the monthly workshops that we're going to be doing through the end of the year, and probably even longer than that, but definitely through the end of the year. We're going to have a workshop that gets you off the ground running very quickly with a Build It Live session, which of course would be recorded, and you can always refer back to it later. And then, like Robert was saying, you know, one of the most valuable portions of this is the 50% skills discount. So all that long list of more than 2,000 skills, you know, as we're adding them, like Josh and Robert said, you know, they're going to be paid. Okay, you've already got access to a whole bunch of skills for free as a part of your normal monthly plan, but then all of these other ones are going to be charged. So they're going to, you know, they're going to have a price on them. You lock in that 50% discount. So let's go ahead and open it up in the chat here. Let's see. Sorry. Okay.
Do we want to do a share screen, Josh, so you can show them where exactly they can sign up for that inside the members area, so there's no.
Yep, absolutely. So right when you log into your account, it's right here. Click on your invitation to be a founders member, and that'll take you right there to our offer.
Super simple, super easy. So.
And George, we'll all get together next week, like you asked. That's not a problem. Oh, he's gone.
Yep, he had to dip. Cool. Well, looks like we might have a couple of Q&As here. When is the founders pricing deadline? That is Sunday evening, 9 p.m. Eastern. 9 p.m. Eastern. Okay, and someone else is saying, I'm fairly new to AI and this all sounds great. I'm likely going to say yes, and I'm wanting to better understand if Zaria can be used without a membership. Can you understand why I should choose Zaria if I haven't really joined the AI train just yet? Okay, this is actually a really good question. We don't have a free plan because it does cost the company money when these conversations are going back and forth with the other integrations of ChatGPT, Claude, etc. Okay, so there is a cost for that, which is why we don't have a free plan. However, I mean, you've got the 30 credits to play with and to decide if you want to do the Zaria thing. And, you know, we were actually having a little bit of a conversation with one of our other friends, Mark, actually, who's like a power super user in the AI space. And, you know, when you add up all the different memberships from Claude to ChatGPT to DeepSeek and, you know, all these other different things, you could easily spend $100 a month just on those pro memberships, which even still have limits. Yeah, we've got some limits as far as like the number of credits that you get to use, but it's not as limited as like with Claude, okay, or with ChatGPT. So, I mean, you're basically getting access to all of these platforms with larger limits than if you had individual memberships. So, and then Josh, I think this is a question for you. Do the credits carry over month to month?
Yes, they do roll over. We do have a rollover program. They carry over up to 2 months. So if you're on the founders member and you're getting 2,000 a month and you don't, let's say you only use 500, next month you have 3,500 credits in your account.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. And yes, the replays are going to be up. Day 1 and day 2 are already up. Day 3 will be going up soon.
Usually the replays are up within 2 hours of the of this webinar finishing. Josh gets it in an hour, and then you'll put it straight up on the page. So 2 hours from now, you should be able to go to the link that Sarah's just put up and see all 3.
Yep. And of course, like I said, I also put in the other, actually, I'll put them in again just so that you guys have them. In case you didn't get your 30 credits, the bonus codes. Day 1 was Zaria. Day 2 was AI team. And today is future. If I can spell right. There we go. So
And it's not case sensitive.
Right. Okay, so you've got until Sunday to claim your bonus codes as well. So that gives you the additional 30 credits. So today is supposed to be short, sweet. Any last questions? Okay, Kim's asking, how do the credits work exactly? They deduct as you use Zaria?
Yes. So in most cases, every prompt that you send Zaria is 1 credit. The only thing that costs more at the moment is deep research, and then you can choose how many credits you want to spend. We have low, medium, and high, depending on how comprehensive you want the research to be.
Awesome.
Now, also one of the feedbacks from this these 3 events, which actually is a good idea, and I have no idea we didn't think of it. There's at the moment there's no way to know how many credits you've used in a month, so we're going to put that up there. So you'll get a countdown now. This is how many credits you have left in your account. I have no idea why we didn't think of that, because that's like bog standard, really.
Yeah. That's definitely something we need to do.
We're so focused on the future and the big stuff, the sexy stuff, we forgot that little piece. Sorry, but we'll get that done.
Angie, I'm not understanding. Sorry, when is the credits used?
Oh, every time you ask a question, Angie, and it then goes off to do its work, then that's a credit. Because we're using the underlying models, we get charged. Every time you ask Zaria a question, Josh and I get a bill. So basically, we've done that as one question. When you press the go button, that's a credit. Okay. So you could ask her 2,000 questions in a month.
And what happens if you use all 2,000 credits in the
At the moment,
end of the month end?
That at the moment, then you would just have to stop using it to your next month now, because the underlying models won't allow us to do that. They do the same. For instance, if you run out of credits in Claude or ChatGPT, you have to wait for your next month's thing.
Right. Yeah. It's basically rate limited at the moment. Now we are going to be introducing other options for that, but
well,
right now,
and I will say we're being a bit cautious here, because Josh and I, because we get charged that thing, we're not sure about our numbers. Okay, so we've been a little conservative with the amount of credits you get. Once we have people using this, and Josh and I can see what the overriding trend is, everybody's credit level may go up. Once we see that we're not going to go, upside down with the credits and that, it may well be you get an email in a month's time or 2 months time to say, hey, do you know what? Your credit limit just went up.
Now, I will say, Sunny has been using Zaria a lot. She has 3 clients. She's making workbooks. She's making all sorts of different content. A lot of people on George's team are actually using Zaria to make, to get information from
A
the
transcript as
summits
well.
and transcripts and stuff like that. So we have people using Zaria a lot who are not using their 1,000 credit limit. Now the Founders Club, that gives you 2,000 credits every month. So I think that's going to go pretty far. I think you'd be surprised how far 2,000 credits would go.
Yeah, so we've also been talking about doing an unlimited credit plan for the future for superpower users, but we have to work out our numbers before we can release that. Felicia is asking, and I'm sorry, my long guys just showed up. So Felicia's asking, what does it mean on the lower package, no adaptive intelligence?
That basically means you can't bring each expert into the conversation. So if you want the content writer to write content, and then you want the ad copywriter to take over, you then have to start a new conversation with the ad copywriter and bring all the information over to the ad copy. You have to explain it all to them again.
Yeah, the adaptive intelligence agents allows you to switch team members mid-conversation, so you can go from your project planner to your copywriter just in one step through one conversation. It lets you switch between them. And then the standard level doesn't have that, but we're including all of that in the founders level. With the founders level, you're getting deep research, you're getting the adaptive intelligence agents, you're getting everything.
And I'm speaking from experience, having that option is, it's amazing. It's worth splurging on, definitely. Especially from like an organizational kind of procedure. Okay, so any last questions before we close it out? We want to end this a little bit early so that you guys can go and play and have some fun with it.
Just the thing that we're always one of those things we're talking about is Google Docs as well for the MCP thing. All the documents that you have in Google Docs, if we pull that one over, you just better go chink, bong, and stick it in from Google Documents right into the data, my data. Okay, now I know that there's lots of people out there with loads and loads of stuff in Google Docs.
I'm thinking Google Drive and Google Docs is probably one of our first skills we need to work on. Kim's saying, in testing, I noticed, she said that the data uploaded before isn't accessible, for different projects under the same topic. The data uploaded before isn't accessible for different projects under the same topic. Would that be a user database permissions toggle switch issue, Josh?
No, that shouldn't. So
where is it uploaded? To the conversation or to the database?
right. The conversation, if you're having a conversation and you upload the file, that's specific to that conversation or that project. If you go to My Data, all of your team members and all of your projects have access to that. Now, there is one thing that I just want to go over. I know we mentioned it before, but I just want to make sure. So this is enabled by default with all of our pre-built team members, so you don't have to worry about it. But if you are creating your own team member, if you want this team member to have access to your data, make sure you go to this skill that says user data and switch that on. Again, all of our pre-built team members already have access to that, but if you're building your own, this skill right here decides whether or not this team member can access your data.
Okay, there's one other in there that I would think about, because there's one other that allows her to go out and research for software that would help you do stuff.
Okay, so yeah, we do have something called Composer. Now, I haven't talked about this a whole lot because I see MCP pretty much replacing this, but what this does is if you have something that you want Zaria to do, if you want her to read a PDF or create a PDF, if she doesn't have that capability built in, Composer will go out and it will look for open source software and it will try to install it on the back end. But I see MCP pretty much replacing this going forward.
Okay, Chuck is asking if my data is segregate, separate data for different projects.
No, all of your AIs, all of your agents will have access to all of your data.
Now you can
My data.
categorize it. You can
But
categorize
yes, you
it.
can categorize it. But at any time you're working with an agent, you can direct them to any part of your database.
Okay.
But like you said, the best way, if you're talking about segregation in that content, you can segregate it into what Josh said, because I can't remember the word.
Yeah, you can organize them into categories, and that makes things easier for you. It lets you organize your data, and then when you're having a conversation, you can say, "Look at this information." But yeah, that's what sets Zaria apart from the Chat GPT custom GPTs. With custom GPT, your data is locked to that GPT. With Zaria, my data, you can upload that, and then you can ask any of your team members at any of your projects to reference that data. It's just right there and ready to be used.
And even when you do the deep dive, that can also be put into the into my data straight from there. And soon Google Docs too, and Google Drive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So for me, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
Sure.
I think the thing that I am most excited about that we put together is the live work sessions. Like this is build in real time. If you have a question or you have a project or it's even a feature that Josh is considering or wants open feedback on, I think for that, if you look at you were going to spend $97, let's say for the next 3 months and just go into like an AI course or cohort or private group, like I feel like this is such a ground level mastermind for $97 a month, even if it didn't include everything else that the software includes, but just to be live on those calls implementing on the tool, that is like a master's degree of AI application.
Well, I'm just going to say that because I mean, if you can see the caliber of the people doing this, me, Cassie, notice that was me first, me, Josh, Cassie, Sarah, and even George will pull him into. Okay, that if you think about that is once a month, you get in our heads to find out how this stuff works. Bring examples here, and we'll say, okay, well, let's take a look at it. Just like we did with Mark yesterday, we can go through your stuff personally with it. Now, if we had 500 people in this room, that's not possible. But you know, we're limiting the founding members to a set number, so that's easy for us to be able to do that. Think of a classroom of 50 people and 5 teachers.
And that's what's so awesome about the monthly workshops too, because it's a smaller setting. So instead of answering generic questions, we can actually help you, which is awesome. Mick wants to know, will the social media manager post creatives to your accounts?
So
Not at the moment. Not at, oh, sorry, Josh, go on.
Right. At the moment, no, but that is one thing that MCP will be able to do. It'll
Oh,
be able
there
to
you go.
actually
See, I
connect
didn't
with
expect that
Facebook.
answer.
You'll actually be able to connect with Twitter, and you'll actually be able to post content for you once you
From
get
now,
the MCP's skills for that.
and the monthly workshops happen from now. From today, 30 days from now, we'll start the first monthly workshop, and we'll do it all year, the rest of the year. What's that? 10 more workshops. Okay. For the founding members. Yes, and we'll probably pretty much, and we'll send out emails to that effect anyway.
Yep, we'll definitely be letting you guys know when we've got the first one scheduled and ready to go. Give you plenty of time to get it on your calendar so that you can make time for it.
Yeah, I mean, again, use the support desk to say well, some of the things that you'd like to be speaking about in those workshops too.
Mm-hmm.
So we can do some prep for it.
Michael is saying, I don't see the founder's offer when I logged in.
Okay, let me look at your account. Okay. I just need to activate your account to the webinars level, and you should see it now, Michael.
Mark wants to know, how do we turn off getting all of the responses in Markdown?
Well, it annoys me too, Mark, and so it annoys Cassie too. If you tell her not to use markups, she won't use them. I mean, you might have to tell her every now and again to stop using markups, but she will stop using them if you
So
say,
I have, Robert, I am so happy to report I have found a permanent solution for that. Is I just added one sentence where I went into my team members, and in the main prompt and the reinforcement prompt, I just add, please remove all markups from all responses. And I even give it like the pounds. I think it's 3 pounds and 2 hashtags or whatever it is. And I literally have just been putting that in all of the team members, and it stopped doing it.
yeah, the whole markdown thing is unfortunately what ChatGPT just delivers it back. But if you ask her not to do it, again, and put it in that reinforcement prompt, in all the reinforcement prompts, she stops doing it.
Yeah, that's the key. That reinforcement prompt is very powerful. If there's certain things that you don't want your team member to do, if you want it to avoid doing, you put that in the reinforcement prompt and the main prompt, put it in both places, and that reinforces that behavior over and over again throughout the conversation.
I mean, just to let everybody know what the markdown is, it tells if you were creating a PDF file, for instance, or an HTML page, the markdown tells them the code where to put the headline, where the first chapter goes, all that kind of thing, what gets bolded. That's what the markdowns are for. So unless you're creating a document, you don't need them. So just put it in there. Unless you're creating a PDF file or an HTML page, never ever use markdowns.
I do know how to convert the markdown from Zaria, when you copy it from Zaria, to a Google Doc.
Okay, well, then you need to write a PDF. You need to write a report study so that we can send that out to people.
If I was smart, I would. Yes, I sure
If
will.
if I was smart, I'd ask you to do it for me. Oh, I just did.
I'll get on it. Thank you.
Okay, and actually, Sunny, this might be a really good question for you since you're using Zaria with clients. Felicia's asking, when it's said that members are using it for clients, does that mean they're outsourcing Zaria projects like an agency?
What?
As if I were the agency.
Correct.
I guess I don't think I understand. Can you help me?
When
I would say yes, you are an agent. You're an agent for the people that you work for.
Yes.
And people give you jobs to, and you're using Zaria to create those jobs, then send it back to your customers.
Yes.
Your agents.
Yes.
So you think about it as Sunny is the personal assistant to 3 other people. And in order to be able to do all of that work, she has to get Zaria to do it for her.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have to.
Okay.
Does that answer the question, Felicia?
Okay.
Okay, good.
Kim wants to know if she can change her login email from what she originally signed up with.
Yes, when you log into your account on the left side, you'll see on the main menu, it says My Account, and you could just change your email and any of your other information
you
from
should
there.
know this. You've used LFM before. You should know that.
Be nice, Robert.
Okay. Well, we're coming up on the hour. Again, if you want to join us, the offer is good until Sunday at 9 p.m. and then the 30 free credits goes away, as well as the founding members offer. Remember, it's only $97 a month. I mean, you could be spending a lot more than that between other tools that don't do half of what Zaria does. I'm just speaking from my own experience. this is the only tool that I'm going to be using from now on, even though I've used Claude and ChatGPT separately on like the professional paid plans and stuff like that. I'm not using them anymore because I'm using Zaria now. So that's my personal experience. And like some of you, I'm new to the AI train too. When it first started coming out, I was like, great, another trend that's coming up. And well, it's not a trend. It's the business way of life. And we all know that business moves fast. So it's going to be, this is definitely a game changer. That's for sure. So we'll just say one last time, if you guys have any questions, let's see. Michael's saying, okay, so we can use this instead of the AI for IFMTE?
Well,
LFMP.
we are targeting Genius towards a separate market. Zaria is more of a general purpose AI. She's definitely more powerful. She definitely has more content creation tools. Genius is right there inside of your admin panel. It's your assistant. So I recommend for LFMTE owners to have both. They are two separate products, so we're going to continue supporting and developing.
Michael,
and improving
Zaria
both of
can't
them.
change the pages on your website. Genius is designed to actually control your website itself. It can check all of your stats online. It can rebuild web pages for you, rewrite the code, all that kind of stuff on the platform that you're using. Zaria can't do that because she doesn't have access to your back end.
Okay. Any other questions?
I don't want to confuse everybody there, but Genius is another AI that Josh has created in order to run a website, a membership site. We may bring that up at another workshop, but that I don't want to confuse the two.
Yeah. Genius is a separate product. Genius is integrated into the LFMTE admin panel. It's
The
built
LFM,
specifically for
essentially
that purpose to
Zaria.
help you run your website.
Essentially, Zaria has a big brother. We'll introduce Big Brother later.
Awesome. All right. Any other questions? Okay, well, let's go ahead and close it out so that you guys can go and play with Zaria and have some fun and, make your business even bigger, better, badder.
And we'll see you in 30 days.
All
Some
right,
of
thanks
you anyway.
everyone.
All right, thanks so much, guys. The replay will be up in just a little while.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.